In its constancy and relative serenity, things don't move in baseball except in circles, and that is what makes it such a good game. There's none of the surface tension you have in other sports. Some of the game's drills seem to have all the profundity of recess at the kindergarten. Advanced baseball minds have convinced themselves that this little number all the pitchers are required to do is useful. Their argument is not convincing. Also greatly favored are these fielding drills for pitchers. Most exercises involve the pitchers, who are perceived to be eccentric and lacking in all the fundamental skills that have nothing to do with throwing a baseball. The theory and practice of spring training even baffles some baseball men, which does not imply that weighty decisions are not made here. For example, they must decide if Bill Campbell is to keep his beard. The old guard doesn't much like it. There are also contract disputes to settle. Pitcher Bob Stanley and the immortal Bernie Cabo will be the toughest such battles here. But the biggest problem of the moment concerns pitcher Rick Wise, the bane of the manager's existence, who has demanded that he be traded.
We got 20 pitchers here, and I will definitely go to Boston with 9 or 10 of them. Rick Wise wants to be traded, and when you make it public, I think the only thing to do is try to trade him, and I'm sure that this is what Haywood and I will attempt to do.
If you can't, though, can you live with a situation after it gets public like this?
I can live with anything.
Of course, Wise is not the only pitcher who is not on the manager's dance card. Jim Willoughby is another chap who has one foot in the doghouse and the other on a banana peel.
I've always had the attitude that I'm a baseball player, and that's my job, and I can play for anybody. Just give me the baseball and the chance to play. That's all that I've ever asked, and I really have no problems with Zimmer. Nothing that can't be worked out. I just want to play, that's all.
But you have to search for such issues. Things are stable here, much more than they normally are. Why, critics don't even have George Scott to kick around anymore, for George has slimmed down considerably. The marvel of the camp, though, is Carl Yastrzemski, who's in astonishing shape and is killing the ball.
I think by staying in shape all year round and playing baseball. Up north you can run, which I always did, lifted weights. It's not the same getting out 3-4 times a week and hitting for half an hour. I throw batting practice to my son for 45 minutes, shag fly balls, run sprints in the outfield. So you're working at something you like and enjoy.
Well, down deep, you're telling the world something too, aren't you? You're telling me, right? What is it, 38 now? Huh?
38. I don't know if I'm telling the world something. I'm telling myself something.
Yeah. Are you succeeding?
We'll find out in October.
Yeah. How do you? But down deep, can a man beat the clock, Cal? To some point?
I think it's all mental. Physically, I don't feel any different than I did 10 years ago. In fact, I might feel better. I think if you stay physically ready, you become strong mentally because you know physically you can do it.
I don't want to be impolite, but there's flecks of gray in those sideburns.
I haven't used my Grecian formula lately.
He's done 6. We've done 5. I don't know how he's done 5. Tracy's done 5. Budget's done 6. Are we up again? When they come back. When they come back.
Yastrzemski, as a model of how an athlete should combat the passing years, is near matchless. The thing about baseball is that men are not forced to bring the best out of themselves at the point of a gun. The great ones do it on their own. And there's no irony to the fact that those who need the work least work the hardest. For baseball, as we all know, is a metaphor of life. Clark Booth, Sports 5 in Winter Haven.